We made it to episode 2. I don't know where Nicholas is. Well, that's a lie. He's up camping. The weather's been really nice. I told him he could take the night off, as he is my best friend. He is my co-host. He is one of the people who keeps my sanity. He's also my unpaid intern. So I have a little bit of wiggle room with how I treat him and when he can and cannot come in. But it's okay, because in the meantime, we have Nikki motherfucking Kaos in from Radio X and about 13 other ventures. Nikki, thank you for coming by. Thank you for withstanding the heat of this subpar, poorly insulated apartment.
Well, I'm really happy to be here, and it just gave me another opportunity to try out some more fancy fashion with some bubble wrap. So I'm nice and ventilated over here.
Good. What you guys did not get to see was that there was more to this ensemble before. Well, did it split? Did it just split up the middle? How did that?
Yeah, there was this one piece of like almost really thin styrofoam packaging I had used for a skirt, and I put slits on the side, and the slits became very much more like a, something less of a skirt and more of just 2 pieces of styrofoam taped around my waist. So, but we did get a picture before that happened.
We got it.
They'll edit that in.
Picture, it didn't happen. It happened.
Yes, it did happen. So evidence is there.
It was great. It was. I got to know Nikki very well, very fast. But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of Classless Bastards. You can listen to us wherever Frankie puts us up, which at this point in time I believe is YouTube, Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud. What's that shitty? There's this one network that's all podcasts. CISO. You can find us on CISO probably. OnlyFans we're working on right now. Still working on some verification stuff. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about our 2 sponsors, Northern Wardens. If you like Dungeons & Dragons, and if you like to play Dungeons & Dragons with your boys, they have all of the tools of the trade you could need. If you don't have a group of boys to play with, they have sessions on Thursday nights, Tuesday nights, and I believe they're going to be starting one on Sundays. And of course, your favorite attorney and mine, Paul Ryan. Sometimes bad things happen to good people, and when they do, call Paul. So, right. I'm going to ask you the same thing that I bet my degenerate fan base is asking. Who is Nikki Kaos?
Who is Nikki Kaos? Well, that is a very multi-layered question. But really, Nikki Kaos with a K was born out of Nikki Kaos with a CH. And in my musical endeavors, I've always had a lot of odd luck. And I've always had interesting challenges with electrical gadgets and just electricity in general. So I was Nikki Kaos with a CH for a long time, and Facebook. I'm Facebook years old on social media, so that's where you find me most often, although I do dabble in Instagram, and I'm thinking about OnlyFans, but I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do for that, so there's some thinking there. But with Facebook, they wouldn't let me use the CH for my name, because they have naming conventions on your personal page. Like, I could do a musician page, but I wanted my personal name to be Nikki Kaos with a K. Because it just separated me out that much. Or no, I didn't want it to be Nikki Kaos with a K. I said it backwards. I wanted it to be with a CH. And damn, Facebook wouldn't let me. So I got pissed and I said, well, Nikki Kaos with a K then. And actually made a lot of people annoyed because they're like, you've just screwed up your whole branding. You're not supposed to change it. It's so confusing. And I said, I'll just buy both domains and take it all over. Why not?
Might as well. Form a massive monopoly for...
Exactly.
For runway bubble wrap clothing and acoustic music and radio hosting and...
Well, I used to do electric, and that band was called Mass Chaos.
Mass Chaos? Okay.
So, I am trying to mass chaos every aspect of my brand. And I do electric guitar a lot too, but I just have not gotten synced up with the right group of people yet for that. But that's one of my favorite things. I actually miss playing electric guitar a lot.
Really?
So Nikki Kaos, first and foremost, besides the name, is a guitarist and a songwriter. I've been writing and playing songs for 30 years.
Holy shit.
And I've got a new one that we're going to premiere tonight.
You heard it here first.
that I just wrote called The Complaint Department, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, so everything I do with music is around just making it fun and interesting for the audience and just staying authentic to my emotional output of what I want to say to people.
So, you said you've been doing music of one facet or another for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
What got you, led you to make that first step all that time ago?
I was very lucky to grow up in a musical family, so I went to band in elementary and high school and played saxophone, but I didn't own the saxophone, so I had to give it back. I would love one. If anyone's giving away a saxophone,
yes, keep that in mind.
Call me.
There is a place down the road, Community Action. People just drop stuff off.
Really?
There. Yeah, that's literally a fucking free-for-all.
Oh.
We've probably brought enough stuff there to furnish a studio apartment.
That is a beautiful thing. Actually, because I am Kaos, I want to have a million ideas. And one thing that is a pipe dream of mine right now, but I hope to see in fruition, is a music library for people, kind of like a tool library, but if you're like recording and you need a piece of gear to get that perfect sound, like we'd have all the guitar pedals, maybe you could leave some deposit, or who knows, there would be, if you volunteer, you can work with people who don't have the money for deposit and have that exchange of instruments, like just have a instrument library. How cool would that be?
I've never thought of anything like that before. It's a very interesting concept. I'd like to see how it pan out.
Yeah, but this is my problem. I have too many ideas.
Oh God, I have basically, my title in Mirth Films is the unofficial idea man. Like, and I always take credit for this because it was really fun to do, and everyone but me was physically drained by the end of it. We did a 24-hour podcast last year.
Okay.
And
24 hours.
24 hours.
Oh, wow, that's a long time.
Dude, it was great. I forget what day we did it. I think it was the last day. Yeah, last day of April into the first day of May, 3 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Wow.
And we had a crew of about 5 people, all hands on deck, and then a little bit of a revolving door of guests. We had like an open mic, which was really fun. I busted out my Johnny Cash, which I love. I love Johnny Cash. He is... Nice. When I get into the mood to write music, I find that a lot of the things that I write are very adjacent to Johnny Cash. Just like that. Especially toward the end of his life. Just super fucking spiritual. Super just... I could go off on it forever. But
you should have Peggy on the show, because Peggy does a lot of really cool Johnny Cash covers.
Really?
Yeah. I'll have to make sure that gets connected.
Yeah. Let's figure something out.
Now, I totally sidestepped your question, though. So where did it start?
Oh.
I'm going back. See, I still have a memory, even though I smoke a lot of pot. I can catch things every once in a while. So how I started writing songs was I got a guitar when I was like 16, just because I wanted to write. And I played piano here and there. We had a piano in our house, which really helped me fiddle around, but I never really took formal lessons. But the guitar I got, at first I got like a folk guitar, but I was taking lessons at the Hilton in the Latham Circle Mall, which is now some kind of strip mall, but used to be an actual mall with a really cool arcade. And the Hilton guy actually wanted to start a classical music, like guitar ensemble, like small groups of people playing classical guitar. So he talked us into switching the folk guitar to a classical guitar, which had its pros and cons, at the time, because frankly, nylon strings, big pro, didn't, it helped me get my calluses without so much pain. Because I remember, a less expensive acoustic guitar with those metal strings is like, that's really cutting your teeth. The only worse would be like learning bass, right? Because those strings are beasts. But anyway, it actually helped me out a lot when that happened, even though at the time I might not have chosen it, but it kind of forced itself towards me. Because I learned like finger picking and different chord structures that I always was able to apply to my songwriting, which is one of the cool things I think about my songwriting, is I get to incorporate that. And then for the longest time, I thought every song had to be different, right? So I was writing songs for like 20 years and making sure I never repeated a chord pattern or any of this, like lots of chromatic stuff. And then, like, I started listening to more popular music, and I'm like, wow.
This all sounds the fucking same.
There's a lot of 145s going on out there. I don't even really care what a 145 is, but now I kind of see this whole other side of music. As long as the melody's different, you can just jam those. So now I kind of do a little mix of both, and yeah, I've been writing. Gosh, I have at least 75 songs I've written.
Nah, fucking bad.
Yeah.
I have one.
Oh, you could write more than that. When did you write that?
It was a collaborative effort from this, the first band I was ever in that we played at bars and honky tonks and
that's the best
and
kind of place.
And the Monopole in Plattsburgh, where I threw up a lot. I was 19. I was nervous. I drank a lot before I got it. So it was a whole thing, but it was a song. The song was called "On the Trail." It was written collaboratively by myself and the other members of my most successful band, Highway 69. And yeah, it was very few things in my life do I look at the videos that we took of our playing and actively cringe.
Oh, I cringe at all my videos. Even still, it's hard for me.
Well, my thing is, I hate how I sound.
Yeah.
I hate I hate the sound of my voice because we all have like some fucking bass plate somewhere. I think I sound like fucking Barry White, and then I listen to it I'm like, oh.
You're not feeling it.
I'm not feeling so Barry White. I'm not even feeling Mighty White at that point. I'm just feeling, I don't know, it's a weird thing.
Well, can we go karaoke together sometime and I can check it out?
I smoke karaoke.
Okay,
I'm a fucking monster.
We have to make a plan for some karaoke. We're going to definitely do a karaoke night.
Peters, this Wednesday.
Not ruling it out.
Better.
All right.
It's going to be great.
All right.
You can meet the rest of the domestic bar family.
You'll have to give me the deets later. Announce them during the podcast so we can all meet there.
I don't. Oh God. Generally.
You can't do self-promotion.
No. I could self-promote that we're painting the living room, for Christ's sakes. Like.
Please don't. Nobody wants to hear about that.
No, that's what they all say. But no. Peters does karaoke Wednesdays and Saturdays. I think Wednesday would be more advantageous because the bar's just less busy.
Yeah.
But the Mirth Films fan base is very diverse, all-encompassing.
Okay.
Some of them are my people. Okay. I brought in rough, cruel, fucking borderline supervillainy people to the Mirth Films fan base. And then there's a lot of you who I love that are kind of delicate flowers. That I care about, and I want to protect you. I want to put you inside of that glass thing from Beauty and the Beast.
So,
and we have fights, and we have a smoking room, and I have been stabbed there before. At
the place where the karaoke is?
Yeah, by a box cutter.
Someone did it on purpose or accidentally?
Oh no! It was we were trying to break it up. I think that. Because it was like a...
So I gotta bring my ass-kicking boots if I go.
You might have to bring your ass-kicking boots.
I have a pair of Doc Martens that leave a pretty nice imprint. I have no problem with that. Everybody actually, sometimes I think people are surprised because I try to be super chill. But when people bother me, I'm very, very aggressive. Like the other day, I was down at... I won't name the bar. A bar in Saratoga where...
Name it.
No, do you want me to? I'm not going to. Anyway, trust me, I'm not going to. Twice now. This is the second time it's happened. But this most recent time, person was very intoxicated. And he kept insisting how beautiful I was and how in love he was with me. And that he really needed to be with me. And I do pride myself in my appearance. I was very flattered.
Sounds like you just found forever right there.
I know. And he's like, can I touch your hair? And I'm like, no, thank you, sir.
Buy me a drink.
Please don't. Actually, usually when this happens, boys and girls, whenever anyone's harassing you, wants to buy you a drink, let them buy it for you. Ask them to make sure they give the bartender a good tip. And then give the drink back to the bartender if you don't want to drink it. Yeah. That's how I do it. Everybody wins, and that guy loses money and then gets home sooner.
And also, as a bartender for too many bars, if you buy somebody a drink, they do not owe you a fucking thing.
No.
Do it to be, if you want to do it to be nice, that is one thing. There's nothing wrong with buying someone a drink just to be polite. Hell, I've done it for strangers before.
I've done it all the time.
A few weeks ago, so the Adirondack Thunder, they play right down the road at the Cool and Shring Arena.
Nice.
One of the out of state teams came through, and the ECHL is full of just like Europe. And especially when I'm hammered, I love accent. I love European accents.
Oh my gosh, me too.
I love to play the guessing game.
I'm
which is terrible.
With Master Chef because of Gordon Ramsay. Anyway.
We'd have these people come in from like Sweden, Denmark, Bulgaria, and I would just be half in the bag. It's like, dude, you guys have such sweet fucking accents. You guys are gonna conquer the world. You guys have, and they're just, I could tell they're uncomfortable, and I felt terrible. So before I walked home, I bought them around, and I just faded off into existence, hoping they forgot that I put my foot in my mouth for about 12 minutes straight.
Oh.
But I did not try to have sex with them.
Yes.
They were pretty.
They
were pretty fellas, but
And so not to say that you can't pick someone up either in a bar, but you have to like read the cues, man. Yeah. When someone's like pulling away from you and they're trying to touch you, or when you're trying to touch them, or there's kind of words that I was giving this guy a lot of cues to a point where it's like, is this guy with you? To the people, like just trying to get him to go back to his, if he had anyone with him, right?
Yeah.
So here's the best part. He just did not get the clue. And, again, I'm trying to be polite. I'm like, oh, your mom should have taught you not to touch people without permission and, like, those kinds of things. And the guy just wouldn't get it. And he starts following me when I'm leaving to go to the next place. And I turn in and I go, I don't think you heard me. Fuck off! Fuck off!
Good.
Fuck off! And the guy was like, and I'm like, fuck off. And then he kind of stood there stunned, and I walked away. Thankfully, I was with someone, but if I wasn't, the next thing, if you still follow me after I've told you to fuck off, those boots that I was mentioning
Doc Martens.
Whichever boots I have on, sometimes they're pointy-toed.
Ah!
Oh, yes.
And I cross my legs just thinking about it.
I know. I mean, I don't ever want to be violent, but I do have a lot of pent-up rage as a woman, so just try me, boys and girls. Doesn't matter who you are. Don't touch me unless I want you to.
So have you ever thought about a career in ultimate fighting?
No, because I like my pretty face.
So, before I'm done with this tangent portion of it, one of my bar regulars, a good friend of mine, Donnie Springer, he is the master of saying the wrong thing. Oh. He is, he does not know how to read a room. And goddamn, I love him for it.
I don't mind that if you're self-aware of it, right?
Oh, no.
He's not... Does he get angry, though?
No.
Okay.
He honestly, he sounds like... His demeanor is Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused.
Okay. I don't mind the say the wrong thing person as long as, like, if I tell them to stop talking to me.
Oh, no. He's cool about that.
Okay,
but the piece of advice that he gave me when I first started bartending is that the most powerful tool that anyone can have in a fight is a good bitch slap. Because especially as a man, that is something that really can put your masculinity in check. And I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of fucking machismo around the bars these days. And if you get bitch slapped hard, like how do you respond?
It shuts a lot of things down. In fact, believe it or not, because I have 1,000 ideas, I've actually thought about carrying, those little shitty slippers, those like slip-on flip-flops, even that, or like the grandma slippers with like the fuzz on the end or whatever. Carrying one of those in my purse, so I don't even have to use my hand. Just whip that shit out and right across the face with a slipper.
Yeah, it's the next...
It'll leave a little imprint of all the little waffles.
It's the next step.
I think we should make that a fad. A slipper bitch slap.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere already. But
I don't really want to slap anyone, to be fair. I love talking to people. I don't want anyone listening to this think that I can't be approached. I talk to people all the time in bars, and I love it, which is why I meet all these lovely people. But sometimes you're like, oh, you're the 1 out of 50 that wants to touch my hair inappropriately. Well, sorry, buddy.
But then like 30 out of those other 50 are like okay
super
people.
Cool to talk to.
But then you get like 2 or 3 that are fucking obscure. Like they look like they just left the last concert ever at CBGB's, and you're like, I want to ask you every question I have in my life. I want to know.
Yeah,
I want to know what your home life was
grab.
like. I want to know what drugs you're on right now. I want to know what you drink. I want to know why you're drinking Bombay Sapphire right now. But no, I like those kind of people. I like the people who that mainstream society has kind of thrown in the recycling bin, and I just want to like take them out and fucking brush them off a little, and ask them questions. Like my favorite interview question. Use it in your line of work if you'd like. You have my blessing.
All right.
It's a great out the gate question, especially if you've never formally met the person before.
Okay.
Is everything all right at home?
No, I would never ask that question.
I'm a bad interviewer. That I should probably preface that. But you will get blunt, unadulterated honesty.
Wow.
No matter what. Even if it's like a snappy quick yes.
I think my brand is more about me exposing my dark secrets than me trying to expose other people's. In fact, when I do my interviews for Radio X, I do articles. They're usually printed every month in our Experience Monthly magazine, which I love so much. I've gotten interviews some pretty famous people, and some, local celebrities, local up-and-coming artists, and every interview is so interesting. But I always tell them there's going to be no gotcha questions or anything like that in this interview. I just want to highlight your work and your music. So I get where you're coming from, and that is a very good question that would get a great reaction. I don't think it's a bad question, but it's just like, I don't want to go there with them because all of a sudden we'll be in a therapy session. And did you know that like 15 minutes of talking is over 1,200 words typed?
Yeah.
And that's just like, that's my limit, 1,200 to get in the magazine.
1,200 words. Holy shit, Batman.
Yeah, you gotta be writing tight.
Yeah, you have
writing
to
tight, baby.
What is it that they, from fucking old school journalism, inverse pyramid, the ABCs of journalism, blah blah, things that I should have learned with my degree that I forgot. But
sometimes they let me go up to 15 because they like my writing, but it's between 12 and 15. And I always have to cut. Usually when I'm done typing, 15 to 20 minutes of talking. And sometimes I get 30 or 40 because we get on a roll. I have to cut out like a huge amount. If I got to start getting in their home life, oh my Lord, I wouldn't have enough of print.
and that's a great point. And that's something that is kind of shitty about the interviewing process. Like, so last night, this band Shoe, it was their 30th anniversary. Oh,
I saw that. At the park, right?
At the Park Theater. Yeah. There was probably about 100 people there. It was great. I'll go on a rant on some of that later before we wrap this thing up. But it was super fun. And I'd asked them ahead of time, so we're trying out, I don't want to say trying out a new photographer, but the woman who did our engagement pictures is one of my fiance's best friends. So I said, hey, you want to get your feet wet in concert photography? Mm. And she just said, oh, hey, I'm unemployed. Let's do something.
Okay.
And so I had the idea to just put together, have her do the photog stuff. And I'm going to do some hard-nosed, old-fashioned interviewing with the band Shoe after 30 years of...
Oh, how exciting!
It was really fun. And I always say the best interviews are the ones where the interviewer doesn't have to talk. Like, the more time where you generally can just have them give authentic, from-the-heart stuff. And especially Shoe has 5 members. So I would, throw a question. I would just lob a question.
Do you have all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was surrounded. It was like...
That's wild.
It was
I've only done 2 at once. I've never done 5.
Let me tell you. It's an experience.
I bet. You must have been exhausted afterwards.
God, I didn't even have any spit left in me after.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, your mouth gets so dry when
Dude,
we get
yeah,
all those questions.
Yeah. It was great. It was a lot of fun. And the terrible thing is, especially the way we were sitting, so I didn't bring pen and paper or anything. I turned my phone's voice recorder on and I sat it down just on a table. But the way they're all sitting, it was like a semicircle around me. I was just like, Dude, all we need is a Pornhub logo in the corner.
There you go, right?
Someone is good, like, Rule 34, dude. If it exists, there's a porn for it. I thought...
No, I never realized that until much later in life, but I haven't seen it all, and I don't really mind it.
I'm a child of the internet. I had to learn. This is a family podcast.
I punched myself in the microphone.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
I paid almost $30 for it.
Sorry. Is this thing on? No, I'm...
Jesus.
I don't know. I almost had to go there, but I'm tune in Tokyo joke right now. Here, I brought you a card for the record. Since we're down this path.
Well, yeah, hold on.
I brought a card that I thought would be really apropos of this particular podcast.
I'm just gonna throw it up here so you guys can see it. To those of you who are listening to this without watching video or just have scene problems, says, guess what?
What?
I don't know. Uh, 2012 called. They want their joke back.
D's nuts. I know.
But I love it. I love that.
I have a kid in high school, so I do. Do
they still say? I don't know. Have you asked them? Do high schoolers still throw around D's nuts?
No, which is why I got this card to embarrass him. Just because I had to give him a harsh mom joke, because I'm so uncool. Making a joke from the past is even more brutal than a good joke. It's a double diss as far as I'm concerned. I double dissed him.
Mom, you're so lame.
I know, right? I'm your lame ass mom.
Dude, once upon a time, it would be do you remember that brand of Solo cup, the Solo Jazz cups? The white cup with the blue purple lightning streak.
I have a funny story about that, actually.
Please,
two funny stories.
Why do you have a story about a fucking paper cup?
Oh my God! First of all, there's a car that's decorated like that cup that rides around with the Ghostbusters mobile and the Blues mobile, and I've seen them all three together in the same parking lot. So they must be a gang of really interesting cars. But how the Solo Cup got in with the Ghostbusters and the Bluesmobile, I don't know. But here's the other thing. And I hope, I liked the outfit, so this is not meant to be rude, but I saw a man wearing a white jumpsuit with the Solo Cup pattern on it. He was
the
dressed
Solo Jazz.
The fucking Solo Cup. And I was just blown away. I wanted the outfit. I wanted pictures with him. I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to be that creepy guy that walked up to him and was like, can I touch your clothes?
Please. I've been waiting on this for 30 years.
They exist. Just like you said, just like with porn. Also, if fashion, if you can think it, it's probably out there. There's Solo Cup.
I want
jumpsuits.
to be a men's pair of boxers, but where the PP would come out, I want it to be my nose.
Your nose? That's
because why would it be my mouth? That would be unflattering.
Under your underwear? Yeah, that would be tricky.
On somebody's underwear, not mine. I hate how I
your
look.
Face, but that would be tricky.
Well, I hate how I look generally. I'm not super
really?
body positive.
Okay. Oh.
But having
a Solo Cup in the penis area is gonna help.
No. I'm saying if I could design any type of clothing.
Oh, okay.
I want my face to be on a set of boxers.
Your face on your and your underpants.
On somebody's, not mine. Anyone but mine.
Wait a minute, you see the pictures of people's faces on clothes, just your actual face.
Yeah.
On the underwear. And where the
where my nose would be.
Your nose, like Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Like Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know that
exists. And if dudes tell, not yet. If dudes tell lies, or I don't know, however they get erections, snort a Viagra in the fucking handicap bathroom.
Oh my goodness, I'm really confused. That's a different kind of glory hole.
I am genuinely surprised. I'm happy you said this. I'm genuinely surprised that the bar I work at does not have a glory hole.
Well, I haven't heard or seen those in a long time. They shut all that stuff down. Maybe not in San Francisco where sex work is legal, but every other place I think is verboten. So I haven't seen anything like that since the cinema art maybe, and that's closed long ago.
I've actually never seen a real glory hole with my own two eyes.
I never have either.
What I have heard of though, one of my older customers had come in one day. telling me that they went to a glory hole in not San Fran, but some mid-level, like middle high population California city.
Okay.
But found a glory hole with a $20 price tag, and he was like, "Well, fuck, $20 is $20."
I buy a drink for $20 sometimes.
If I can put in my dick and $20 and give 5 minutes of my time to feel way better, sure,
Did it
whatever.
Work?
He felt stubble, and then he yanked and left.
Oh, couldn't, because it was, Well,
that's the.
You know what? I almost feel like a guy is a better dick sucker than a girl.
I don't know. I've never sucked a dick, and that's actually another one of those things I've seen it on the internet, and it has made me think of it from time to time. If as a man, if I was flexible enough to perform oral sex on myself, would it feel more like getting my dick sucked, or would it feel more like I'm sucking a dick? Do you think?
It might feel like you're sucking your thumb.
Really?
No, I don't have this option at all. I've never fantasized
the amount of Pilates.
I've fantasized about having a dick and being able to suck my dick.
Do you?
Yeah, once way back when I was 20. But I'm way less flexible now, so that one's out the window.
I'm not as flexible as I used to be. When I wrestled, I also did yoga. And the thing is like, it never occurred to me that I was like, I was in shape enough, I could have tried it. And then I went to college and I drank and put on weight. I'm like, there goes that. I
got like a lot of my boyfriends from doing acrobatics, like just when they saw how flexible I was. My nickname used to be Craftmatic.
Craftmatic? What? I've never, no, I'm trying to. What is
do you know what Craftmatics are?
No, that's why.
Oh my god, I'm so old.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Do you know the adjustable beds?
I've seen pictures of 8-tracks on Google before.
Go look it up on your phone. You have your phone.
I threw it in anger.
I'm sorry if I'm screaming.
No, I don't care.
Oh, I'll show you later. It's the beds that you can raise the legs and the things, the positionable mattress beds.
So they called you Craftmatic.
Used to be Craftmatic. That it was like, when I'm trying to think of something else that has a ubiquitous brand, but
I can't think of anything.
I'm drawing a blank because now all I can think about.
Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
I got nothing. So
Amazon is a brand. Craftmatic was the Amazon of adjustable beds.
And you could adjust this thing however you wanted.
Yeah. That was my nickname.
So that was your nickname? Jesus Christ.
It's true though.
I have accrued maybe like 3 nicknames in my life, and none of them had to do with how I could be contorted. At least so far.
There's still time.
We have the rest of our lives to acquire nicknames.
Yoga is your friend.
I acquired the nickname Bear Paw from recreational volleyball and from loose women. And
Bear Paw?
Yeah, because like I was always a front man for volleyball, so by the way, rec sports I take super seriously.
I won the this is not even, oh my god, this is so funny. I gotta take this thing off, it's actually quite hot here. It's very beautiful though.
We're just happy to see it.
But for rec sports, I was never a very good athlete, and I did not get along with the sports girls in my school. And we had kind of crappy sports team, although I did win a varsity letter for bowling. Right? Okay. But in gym, I was always the person who was super excited to play the games because I just loved it. I didn't care if I sucked or not. I just wanted to play. And our principal's name was Charles Fake. His last name was Fake.
Like spelled like fake.
F-A-K-E.
Ooh.
And when I graduated, I won the Charles Fake Award for outstanding effort in physical education.
You won a Fake Award?
I did. For fucking gym, man. I love pool. I love darts. I love volleyball, which is actually more athletic than the other things I just said. Bowling. I love any kind of sport activity, really.
I do too.
What's your favorite besides volleyball?
My favorite sport to watch. My favorite 3 sports to watch: football, basketball, golf. Favorites to participate in:
watching golf,
football, volleyball, wrestling.
I used to be in judo.
I wrestled, and I was really bad at it.
I love judo. It's one of my reasons why I feel confident when I go out. Not that I want to fight anyone unless you're really being nasty. But yeah, no.
But no, it's a handy. It's
something to be able to flip a man over your shoulder and feel real good about it. Boom. And then when you get him down on the ground, then there's all those pressure points in those joints. It's very interesting. You don't get to do that in wrestling. I never wrestled because girls didn't have a wrestling team, but I got to wrestle in judo because you have your standing up things when people are fighting you standing up, and then you got your on the ground things when people are fighting you on the ground. And I guess it's the same with wrestling too, because you guys got to stand up and then get each other on the ground, right? You would be a tough wrestler, I bet.
I was. I wrestled heavyweight. I never lost hard. I mean, given that the first conversation we ever had, when I had said something to you about Classless Bastards starting up as a podcast, and you, I don't know, you got this like childlike glimmer in your eyes, like, well, I am a classless bitch, you know. Hot diggity dog. We're gonna make something here.
Well, I love what you guys are doing at Mirth Films. You're really out showcasing amazing talent in the area. You got your film thing. You're filming major events, but then also getting a lot of like on the scene stuff and the podcasts that you're doing. It's really exciting for me to be able to be a part of your show. Because I love being classless, and a lot of times when I do these kinds of interviews, I have to be a lot less classless. So this is really a chance for me to let loose. Good.
That's what we aim for here, because I'm never gonna do any ambushy interview type things. Sometimes I'll throw a dumb question out of nowhere, not in an ambush fashion, but I do. Sometimes I like just spewing something so fucking weird that people have no idea how to respond.
I feel like we should each come up with our own weird thing and say it at the same time or something, but I can't.
What do you think we did before we invented ladders?
What do I think we did before we invented ladders?
Yeah.
As far as to get to things that we couldn't reach?
Sure.
We stacked things and climbed on them. I'm a very like MacGyver type girl though, so like if I walk in a room and someone's like, you need a ladder to get there, and we don't have a ladder, I'll be like,
Well,
need is a strong word. What else have we got?
We have all these rocks kicking around.
Exactly.
All these rocks.
Come on. I hear about the pyramids. You know how, I mean, that was actually not very nice because they were, like, the people died a lot.
So that's actually a very, widespread and popular historical misconception. No slaves built the pyramids.
Was it the aliens?
Independent contractors, allegedly.
Oh, really?
It was probably the fucking aliens.
I know how independent contractors work. They work by buying slaves and not telling the people who are paying for it.
Subcontract.
It's called
subcontracting.
Yeah, well, we won't get into that. That's so serious.
That's insensitive. We don't call them slaves. We call them subcontractors.
We call them subcontractors.
We call them starving artists.
Independent businessmen and women.
Yeah. And
peoples.
Yes. No one is immune to building the pyramids.
Let my go.
Shit. Where was I going with
that? I don't know.
I don't know either.
You asked me about ladders. Now I have to ask you a silly question.
Go ahead.
I'm very bad at this all of a sudden. Usually I'm pretty quick too. I feel stumped. Why are... I don't know. I have no question. I'm not even gonna... Yeah, I know. Dead air is the worst kind of air you could ever have on any kind of show.
You can be artsy with it. I mean, it's just like in cinema when they have black stills between things. Like it's just how you work with it. I mean.
All right, I have a question for you.
Axe away.
Do you like shag carpet?
Do I like shag carpet? I don't think I've ever owned shag carpet. Most of my experience with shag carpet is from Big Lebowski.
He probably had a Craftmatic.
He probably had a Craftmatic. He was
a whole school kind of guy.
Have just brought the room together, you know.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, speaking of that, I don't know why I'm so stuck on beds. Water beds. Have you ever experienced a water bed?
And what do you mean experienced a waterbed?
Like, slept on one, used one in any way.
Okay, that's a very... At first, that was a very broad...
I mean it very broadly.
I mean, the answer is no. No matter what, the answer is no.
No, okay.
I've never slept, rested upon, or fornicated.
Or even just tried one out in a mattress showroom.
Oh, God, no. I don't go to mattress showrooms.
No?
No, because people are the most unsanitary fucks.
That's how I keep my immunity up, actually. I bathe myself in germs on a regular basis. Keeps me strong like bull.
I just have people cough on me every now and then.
No, I don't let people cough on me. That's where I draw the line. You can keep your fucking mouth inside germs to yourself. You can touch me. I mean, I don't know. I know I have not learned all your weird things yet. One of my other fantasies is to go to a mattress store and jump from mattress to mattress while it's closed.
To hit every single mattress, like in rapid succession.
Yes. And trampoline parks, love them.
I've never... I don't think I've ever been to a trampoline park. But I do know that one of the worst things to ever happen to my best friend is he runs a...
Like a trauma thing?
No. It's us laughing at a boss thing.
Okay, good.
I forget what one it was, but he works for a commercial cleaning company that is short-staffed as fuck. So, like, homeboy is working Monday to Saturday, 45 to 50 hours a week. Just cleaning in a commercial setting. So, his father-in-law, they do be. Especially, like, their biggest client is a poop doctor. Is a gastroenterologist.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Went down the rabbit hole, babe.
Listen, I have a medical background, so poop away.
It's a nice facility, too, actually. Like, no one would... If you were to walk in, you would never imagine that.
But your friend does a good job.
He does. But... so the company is super short-staffed, and like so short-staffed that the husband and wife that own it take on a few jobs during the week as well. And a trampoline landing accident, like, did the thing where like knee and leg did like one of these like 45-degree.
The knee?
Knee, leg, everything below.
It like went the wrong direction and broke the joint.
Oh, yeah.
But he's a gastroenterologist.
Well, he cleaned...
I'm so... I hope the person who broke his knee didn't go to the asshole doctor.
Well, I mean, all doctors are assholes if you don't ask the right questions.
And especially orthopedics, so maybe he did go to the asshole doctor.
It's hard telling. No, I did. He does commercial cleaning. My friend Nick does commercial cleaning. Nick's mother and father-in-law own the commercial cleaning company that he works for. And Nick's father-in-law forgot how to trampoline and landed the wrong way.
Oh, it was his father-in-law that did it? Oh.
Yeah.
So those are two separate things. Ouchie, ouchie. That's one of the reasons when I go to a trampoline park, first of all...
You bring your ass-kicking boots?
Very athletic. No, you're not allowed to wear shoes on the trampoline. You have to wear special socks.
Yeah, like the ones that are in like BHU units. It's very... Like the weird... Yes. They got the grippies.
Yeah, the grippy socks. But hey, there's a reason. You can wear those or bare feet. And some places make wear the socks. I've been to many. I love the jumping. And some people are very reckless. I'm like a risk management girl. So when I get to that place, I'm putting myself in a corner where the little kids aren't running around. Actually, the reason why I'm like this is when... Guptill's skating arena in Latham?
I've only had their ice cream.
Well... I grew up roller skating at Guptill's. They used to have a nightclub grooming kids in like the 1980s and 90s. I mean, they weren't grooming kids. They basically had a nightclub that served virgin drinks, non-alcoholic drinks, and we would all go dance in middle school, which was in essence setting us up for our lifetime of alcoholism when we got out of high school.
At first that sounds innocent. I know, I agree. But then you get that, like, you're a sophomore and then that senior skates up
I felt so baller, man.
Like runs a swinger down
I'm not going to lie.
Actually, hey, baby girl,
it wasn't. I still survived. I actually never had any problems there. It was all innocent. My parents looked out for me. and picked me up and made sure, you know, they were hanging around. So I didn't get dropped off there to get lost in the crowd. But, and I had a great time because I was supervised. So that for me was super cool. And I grew up at Gopdals. Long story short, why did I get to Gopdals from this? This is why I'm risk averse to any kind of athletic activity where people can attack me. I've been screwed on a ski slope, and at Gopdals was probably one of the worst in my life because I'm just skating along, happy little, you know, high
just
school
whistling
girl.
while you work, having fun.
And somebody just plows into me from behind, and we both slide that person on top of me across the floor.
You used the best combination of words possible describing it.
And like just literally floor burns.
Oh.
Up both of my arms. Like you wouldn't ow, I know, right? And I was just like laying there crying because I was like, oh.
I've never had floor burns, but I've probably accidentally given at least one person floor burn, and I felt god awful about it.
Well, this poor kid, I'm sure felt awful too, and I was very traumatized. So when I go to the trampoline park, I make sure I have a nice little square off to the side where no one's gonna run into me. And if someone tries to come near my square, I give them the stare down, like I do at a concert when someone wants to get in my space. I'm like, I stood here for an hour waiting in front of the stage. This is my radius. And if you try to get in it, there's no tape on this floor, but you'll find out real clear where that boundary is. And usually people leave me alone.
I'm just lucky that, especially with concerts, I've always been big and tall.
You're the guy people go around, maybe, huh? I totally interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I was trying to like catch my thought somewhere in there, but I've always been lucky. I've always been lucky. Yeah. I don't practice any manners at a concert if I'm trying to get to the front.
You don't practice it? So let's play this out.
I don't...
I'm standing here. I've been waiting. I've been standing waiting, and I hate being in the front, so it must be a really important concert.
Do you really hate being in the front?
I fucking hate being in the front. So if I'm in the front,
I
guarantee got there early and do not want anyone taking up my space. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me? You just said you had no manners.
Oh.
Were you going to, like, step in front of me?
If you were, like, on the fucking gate, no, I'm not going to be like...
If you stood in front of me, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I've been waiting here for an hour. Could you just stand over here instead? Or, even better, actually, I'd use you to my advantage, and I'd say, how about you stand right behind me?
I would... So, I'll tell you what I said the only time someone asked me, because, I mean, I'm 6'3". Like, I know there are people who probably paid just as much money as I did to go see a show. You gotta live with what you got. But, dude, if you want to be to the front, just push ahead. Sometimes there's no room for courtesy. So if I want to see, like when Andy Frasco, when Andy Frasco came to Empire not too long ago.
You had to grab your place? I
had to, and I
did. No remorse. You were ready for it.
Grip the gate and just tell my fiance, hey, listen, we're here for the rest of the night. Like, sip your drink. Right. Sip it slow. It's the last one where it happened.
Well, you know, I actually have been in that situation where I'll go with a person who prefers to be in a different position in the crowd. Because there's this whole, like, when you go to shows that are packed, which is always nice.
Ideally.
There's a front crowd, then there's the middle crowd, and then there's, like, where I usually am, back by the bar. But anyway, because I prefer to, like, see it from afar. But there's an excitement about being up front in that energy, right? So I get why you would want to go there. I'm claustrophobic a little bit, technically. So for me, it makes me want to... I can't enjoy the music because, like, people are up in my space.
That's fair.
It creeps me out.
If, in the event someone tries to ask me to move, I don't know. I always start with like a positive reinforcement of a no. Like, hey, listen, or I'll use inclusive language. Like, listen, hey, we don't, we're not both gonna stand here. I'm going to stand here.
Right.
And then sometimes, every now and then, you encounter the concert Karen. If you find them in the wild,
the concert Karen. I might be the concert Karen.
Like, bust out your handy dandy blowgun and
what?
And tranquilize them.
Oh.
And then we'll take them in for testing. to figure out how it spreads. Don't do that.
No.
Call an expert; they'll do it. But if my favorite thing is to ignore them until they're like, because it always starts, especially if they're from you, like, oh, Mister. Hate being called Mister, by the way. I'm not fucking
Mister.
I hate being called Mister.
I got called ma'am a lot.
So let's do some role play here.
Okay, I'm ready.
So let's... No.
Who's me?
So
who am I?
You are...
Am I the Karen?
You are the concert Karen. I'm me.
Oh, okay.
I am watching Andy Frasco jam out, afro and all. And...
Hey, you're in my way. Can I... Excuse me. I need you to step back.
Andy Frasco's still just killing it right now. Do I go to the dildo factory and tell you how to do your job? A line I
actually, yes, I have seen you there.
A line
Thank you for bringing it up.
A line I
Would you like another double X?
Yes, please.
You would be throwing down in front of the stage in the circus.
You don't need, or
it'd be my Doc Martens versus your mountain stance bear paw.
I can kick a 6'7" man in the face.
But would you kick a woman in the middle of a concert field? No, you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't.
If that was hit first, yeah.
No, I don't.
If I was hit first,
I don't believe. I didn't hit you.
I know, but I'm
saying you. Yeah, no. If I took my slipper out and slapped you.
If you bust out like the chocolate and try and fucking smack me with it,
that might.
All rules are off.
Yeah, I would agree. But whoever throws the first blow, they get what they get.
But the perk of getting married in a few months is that now I don't have to be mean and scary because I can send my woman to be meaner and scarier.
I love being that. I love being in that partnership.
It's a great thing.
I do that for my man, actually.
That's the most romantic way you've referred to your partner.
I know, right?
My man.
My man, that's what I call him.
I always, whenever Nick and I are talking about, we always say, yeah. Like when we shot episode 1, our women were sitting, we're just sitting on the couch.
Maybe that's it. That's the answer. He's my man.
Perfect.
Oh, we found it after all this seeking.
We did it. We did it. We fucking did it.
Because, everybody's always asking me if I have a... So do I. Whatever. Don't you get the ingrown hairs, though?
I get ingrown hairs in one terrible place. If you can guess it, I'll give you a big...
Your taint?
No.
Thank God.
No.
Your face.
Belt line.
Your belt line. Oh, okay.
Eek. Yeah. And then you try and pop it, and then it hurts, and you're just like, you're biting on a rag, you're begging for death.
I understand ingrown hairs.
And then...
For me, it's either waxing or nothing.
I haven't waxed ever, but I'm not opposed to it.
I can tell you it's extremely painful, but very effective, and I highly recommend it over shaving, personally.
I've heard waxing is most effective and the least painful when you really let it go, and then...
Yes, you have to let it grow in. You have to let it grow in.
So you got to go from Woodstock to vinyl finish.
To Playboy.
To Playboy.
Woodstock to Playboy, exactly.
God damn. We're terrible people.
Who's terrible? I'm giving people real good information here. Trust me, I've had my pits waxed. I've had the bikini. And,
Bikini wax scares me.
It's not that bad. Well, you got the balls, though. My balls are inside my body, not outside. I get it.
It's a little different. I will tell you, as a man who has tried shaving his balls like only 3 times in his life, scary. Scary. Because you can't use shaving cream. You know why? Because shaving cream has cooling agents in it. And you know what doesn't feel good? When you're trying to shave your fucking balls.
And they're all shriveled up.
It's the cooling. Dude, it's like, I'm going to put icy... You're not going to
get a smooth shave.
I'm going to put icy hot on my fucking cock and balls before I just shave all this.
You screwed yourself before you started.
Yeah, so...
That's no good.
So I use a bar soap.
Okay.
And just do a quick through with my razor.
Do you trim and not shave then, is what you're saying, mostly?
I trim. I have clippers. But
like buzzers.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know. I don't. But in
There's
the bedroom,
got to be a ball buzzer.
there is Manscaped. Manscaped
Makes.
I'm not
going to
buy it because they're expensive as shit.
Well,
but
it might be a worthwhile
But in the
investment.
bedroom, I don't like my balls touched.
At all.
Hate
That's
it.
not for you.
I have sensitive testicles.
It just ruins.
If you look at them the wrong way, they start to hurt.
God damn it.
So
you're lucky you found a partner who can work with that.
I just don't like my balls.
I'm giving you mad props.
That was
girl.
one of the two things. That was one of the two things that we agreed upon.
Just don't touch my balls.
Don't touch my balls.
Any other part of my body.
And also, I'm strangely ticklish. In any place that is not like in the areas that are near the genitals but not on the genitals, super ticklish.
So you gotta go in like firm but not too firm.
You have to be direct approach hand to cock, or
skip everything else.
Or skip every. Yeah. Or if you're gonna do like the
this is a
sexual
very
slide.
personal conversation.
That is. Or if you're gonna do the person, or if you're gonna do like the slide down.
Yeah, the slide down.
It can't be like.
But not from up.
It can't be. No, I can live with that as long as they don't
touch the balls.
Raised, yeah. But if that's gonna happen, I don't want it to be like the sensual like.
No, because that's tickly.
I want.
You want
like,
a firm kind of.
Yeah. I want it to be primal.
I got you. All right. Well, thank goodness I'm actually not training for this job because I have a man. But in case things don't work.
By the way, we are not hiring for this job. The position is filled.
Yes, exactly.
The position is filled. I am madly in love with the woman I'm about to marry.
I get that impression because every time I'm here, you talk about how amazing she is.
I don't know. I don't remember what she's doing right now.
You're probably a little embarrassed about it. Maybe not. I don't know.
So
but I'm sure your mind is going to a million places.
Oh, no. Not right now. It's starting to slow down.
Oh, good. Let's come back then.
So, she's watched every podcast I've been in.
Yeah. And she still loves you.
Yeah. I am really curious to see how this one pans out.
This one?
This one might strain some things. But if there's anything I learned from last night is that our couch is still quite comfortable and I can sleep out there for a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
But we also...
I don't want this on me. I have a strict... There was a non-disclosure form I filled out before I got here that everything I say and do will never be used against me in a court of law.
I don't remember any of that. Not at all.
I signed it in my mind.
Fair enough. No,
and I don't send your girlfriend after me.
No. Fiance.
She said,
fiance.
Oh my God, fiance.
There is so much, and I will say, I'm sorry.
I'm very bad with names. I couldn't even figure out what to call my partner.
Right.
So, don't blame me for that. And it's no...
Chaos and chaos. Attorneys at law.
Chaos.
Attorneys at law.
I'm pretty sure that would be a losing brand. But anyway.
What's another one? Chaos and chaos. Your certified public accountants.
Chaos and chaos. I think this could be winning though. Chaos and chaos risk management.
I feel like you guys would get a lot of calls from like degen gamblers.
Yes, actually, those people are some of the most interesting to deal with because they have some of the other addictions wrapped into their gambling.
Gambling is very rarely just gambling.
No, it's not.
Like, the amount of times I have seen people come in chooched out of their fucking mind. Like, just pounding the craft beers. They're betting on, like, Ukrainian women's volleyball. And, like, Saudi Arabian dog races.
I keep slapping my chest exactly where I put the microphone.
It's okay.
But, yeah, is that even a thing? Can you bet? You probably can. You can bet on almost anything. It's gotten crazy now with the sports book, right?
You can bet on anything that is a sport. You can bet on.
Let's make a bet right now.
There's two.
Fiance is gonna be mad at you.
I'm kidding. Well, no. Generally, I would say yes, but I did promise her that until the wedding, I was done gambling. The only because I am a degenerate gambler.
Oh, really?
The only asterisk between now and November 4th, when she is inevitably stuck with me for the rest of her natural life, is we're going to our friend's wedding in Vegas in June. And you don't... Dude, that's putting the fucking cat in with the canary.
Do you like go with a certain amount of money then?
Yes.
This is what I do.
You know
I'm a gambler too, but I have to be very careful.
Ukrainian women's volleyball.
Unfortunately, no.
Arabian Dart League.
Well, no.
Polish bear wrestling.
Yeah, you got me.
I knew it. We all got our thing.
I drove across country when I was 19. And I made it to Las Vegas. And there's two funny stories. First of all, I never smoked pot till I was 25 years old. And I looked like a hippie, but I'm a massive carnivore. So people always assumed I was a vegetarian, but I really just love steak and potatoes. So I got to Vegas, and I'm hanging around, and I'd never seen the Grateful Dead. Didn't care about jam bands, none of this stuff, right? That was not my scene. And I'm hanging out, and the Grateful Dead happened to be in Vegas at the same time I was there. It was 1993, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I lost too much money in Vegas. That was my lesson to myself on my trip. When you go to gamble, you have to bring a certain amount. I was like at every ATM machine. I could not get the money out fast enough. If only I tried to.
Those like $7 surcharges.
Oh my Lord, it was bad. So I'm glad you're holding strong and that you have a plan.
Oh yeah.
You're going to have a plan for after you get married because that shit ain't going away.
Yeah. Thinking weekly allowance.
There you go.
Because my new fix.
That's fair.
Especially
I have a weekly allowance for gym.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, my weekly allowance would probably be because Quick Draw is my fucking jam now.
Oh, and you work in a bar? Do you have Quick Draw at your bar? Maybe.
We do have Quick Draw at the bar.
I've seen the Quick Draw.
I am notorious for nights that I don't make a lot of tips. Donnie Springer, I was telling you about, Matthew McConaughey. We would split. We'd play two spot, $5 a game with the extra. So two games at a $10 bet each. But if you hit both numbers, instant $50. But then, because you play the extra, you could win up to 10 times. And you're like, fuck, dude, I could turn $10 into $250 after splitting this. You're like, holy fuck. Like, why did I not do this in the first place? Like, why is that not like something that I why have I not just fucking sank my entire barkeep from the night into all this? And then you realize, oh, that's bad.
Well, I'm a cooler, actually. I have very bad luck, which is one of the reasons why gambling is a horrible activity for me, because I rarely ever win. So when I go, I count on losing. Every once in a while, I break even. Sometimes I'm up, but I have to bet so small that I go and they have, minimums on the tables. Yeah. And I'm, so embarrassed. I'm schlepping it. But as soon as I sit down, I swear to God, almost within 15 minutes, usually I'll get people up off the table. They don't even want to gamble next to me. Scratch-offs. My family. Crazy. Oh, are scratch-offs included in this deal? Are scratch-offs included?
They're included.
So that is true love then.
Yeah.
That is true love.
I would probably kick a stranger in cold blood in the face.
To get a scratch-off right now?
No. For my woman. Let me risk an aggravated assault charge for a couple $1 loose changes.
I don't know. Some gamblers are really that bad off, unfortunately.
I'm not going to a glory hole for a $10 set for life.
No. But there's no glory holes in the gambling world. Unless you're really fucking lucky. Some people are just lucky. And as much as I try not to hate people because of their natural talents, I wish I had your luck. I'll put it that way. I'm jealous of you. I'm envious.
Why?
Because I want luck. I would want to be lucky.
I don't have luck.
I know. Why are you gambling that? It's a bad combination.
Because a man can dream.
A man can dream. A dollar in a dream. That's a brilliant advertising campaign.
You ever play poker in a semi-professional setting?
In fact, I used to play poker with my marijuana dealer. One of my first marijuana dealers. So
you know what they say. All it takes,
do they say?
Chip in a chair.
Yeah, I know a lot of... Yeah. And they take right out my pocket.
Yeah.
I know about it all.
Poker's different because at least you can try and lie your way through some wins.
I have another brilliant idea. Let's have a Mirth Films poker game, but it's quarters, dimes, and nickels.
I can't participate.
Why? Because after your vowed.
Let's talk. I'll talk to the brass about it.
Talk to the past. And it doesn't have to be filmed or whatever. I've been trying to get a really cool poker game going. Casual. When I used to... That was how we would buy our pot. When I was first getting into pot with Capricorn too. He was my middle of 3 Capricorns. To work out my daddy issues. But at any rate, when we went to buy pot, it was like a whole thing. We'd go to poker night at our dealer's house. And, you know, this was before it was legal. Hallelujah, thank God it's legal, because stupid it wasn't. But, like, we'd play poker, and you could call the game. You'd have, like, 12 people around the table. They'd play baseball, they'd play hold'em, they'd play stud. And every person got a turn to call the game. And then while we were playing the game, when we would take breaks for our drinks and snacks, he'd go into his closet and deal everybody the herb. And it was brilliant. It was the best.
That's the perfect crime.
Fucking the best.
I love that.
So I'm bringing that back. I'm bringing that back.
Fuck yeah. Well, this has been fun as fuck. Guys, tune in. The next portion of this is going to be your friend and mine, Nikki Kaos, debuting her new song, unheard to anybody except her and maybe her downstairs neighbors, The Complaint Department. But first, because I'm trying to find a way to end every podcast in a uniform manner, what is your biggest obscure pet peeve?
Oh, the pet peeve question. When people touch me without asking.
That's not weird. That's not obscure. It's not.
Oh! I can give you a weird, quirky habit.
Like something.
Pet peeves.
Well, something that pisses you off that wouldn't piss the average person off.
But I'm very laid back, so it's a tall.
I am too, but I still hate people sometimes.
Oh, I hate people all the time, but for common reasons, not for unusual reasons. Oh my goodness, a weird pet peeve. I really try to be laid back when it comes to bothering people about things that are their personality traits. So I don't have a lot of pet peeves that aren't common. Like I'm a super, whatever, like I have weird habits, like I put ketchup on tuna mac salad. Can we leave with that? I
don't really do like the whole tuna anything. Except sushi.
I hate fish. Oh, you like sushi? No, I will only, yeah.
I would, if I had, it's not a fantasy, but if someone pitched it to me as if, and they're like, we're just going to pour sushi rolls all over you.
Really?
God.
Sushi rolls?
I would come.
Wow.
I might have to censor that. That might be where the line's drawn.
We could cut that part out.
Oh, no. what I use is,
there's like a bleep?
So the bleep I used for the first episode was a dial tone, but I think this time around I'm gonna use the fax machine noise.
Oh, I like.
Yeah, exactly.
Like almost the AOL dial-up thing.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So, oh god, I have so many obscure pet peeves. It's hard to pick one.
Wow, give me a few just so I can have a context. Maybe it'll inspire me.
Out of state drivers. People who play.
I don't know that's that odd.
People who play Jelly Roll, this artist Jelly Roll in the jukebox at Peters.
Okay.
He's if you haven't heard him, he is emo music for people who live in a trailer park. Like every time I hear him on the jukebox, I can pinpoint who played it, and it really just makes me think, fuck, dude. You just made it absolutely clear I'm in a different tax bracket than you. I just find it to be so like pandering. It's very disingenuous, angst and disillusion and like personal self-hate level feelings. It doesn't seem very authentic.
Thank goodness I don't know this artist.
There's a morbidly obese rapper based out of Memphis, Tennessee, who just won a country music award.
You know what? People get success no matter how good or bad they are. In this music world, I'm kind of like, if it's not for me, whatever. But you did inspire me, I think. I don't know if this is odd enough. If I can remember it. My pet peeve is, I love Excel. I love Excel databases. And people desecrate my databases with bad labeling. They label things so badly that when I touch the spreadsheet, it almost burns my hands.
I don't think enough people took the Microsoft Office class in their life.
I promise you, nobody, not enough. And it's not that they couldn't learn it; it's just a lack of desire.
That they elected not to.
That they elected
not to. That's the worst part.
It makes me.
It's when the choice is in your hand,
cry
and you fuck up, and you choose the other thing.
You. That's how I feel about it.
Nikki Kaos, her song coming up right now. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Love you.
Bye.
She's live. She's rolling.
This is The Complaint Department by Nikki Kaos. I love to complain about things. Let me introduce you to the new department, the Complaint Department. We're here to take your complaint. Here's a pen. Now sit down and wait. Let me introduce you to the Complaint Department, the Complaint Department. Here's a pen, piece of paper, how about 10? Now sit down and wait. We've got lots of forms, do you understand the forms? They love to explain them to you, but we're not allowed to. Pen, paper, sit down and wait. It doesn't matter if your complaint is resolved to us, 'cause we don't care if the job is done well or not. And we're here to hand you more pens and paper, especially if you have a complaint. Now sit down and wait. Especially if you have a complaint. If you have more than one, that's a lot more forms. Especially if you have a complaint. So why don't you just shut the fuck up already? Especially if you have a complaint at the Complaint Department. That was the one.